Today on Dirt Road Cred Jeep News, we are talking the dilemma of the Willys 392, a recall update that we just learned from our local dealership. Stellantis could be in even more trouble if you watch the stonks like we do, but let's give you the latest and greatest on Dirt Road Cred Jeep News, June 2026. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Obviously, there is a ton to talk about with Jeep News. We're out here in the shop as we've been working on the juice here recently. We've got a lot of cool stuff coming out in the near future, including parts installs, some trips, new shows, and a lot of other cool stuff going on the channel. We have, unfortunately, 3 or 4 of our vehicles outside that have been affected by possibly the largest recall Stellantis has ever issued to the Wrangler and Gladiator family. Both of the 2-doors, as well as my dad's 4-door and Justin's 4-door 392, all varying years, are all affected by the electronic high-power steering pump recall. That's 1.3 million vehicles or something. So we got this notification. You can go on, check your VIN on the Mopar recall site lookup. So definitely check your VIN if you're driving a 21 to 25. All of ours popped up that it had it. So we decided to make a trip to our local dealership and say, hey, Kelsey, is there any update on this or any inspection process? Because we really want to talk to our audience about what they should look for. And she actually, and I quote, said, nope, you guys will probably hear it before I do. So we're currently waiting. They're saying sometime in early July that they will actually have a letter being mailed out. And I'm expecting, Ryan, based on some comments that you've been reading, that they basically called their Jeep dealership and said, once you get the letter, then we'll proceed. So right now, we are just sitting and wait. I'm personally not as concerned with ours. I don't drive the 41 that much. Your 2-door, we're not pushing the power steering right now, but we're really not parking them inside either. We're trying to listen to the recall. And then luckily, 2 of our Jeeps, I'd like to see if the juice and the purple one were affected, because we deleted all of it anyways. But I'd like to see, I guarantee you the juice is. That was an early 25 build. But yeah, if you go with an AMW 5.7 conversion, or any other conversion, it's all deleted. So they actually, it was funny, AMW made a post and they said, if you go with any of our engine conversions, none of them apply to the recall. So they were kind of playing on that a little bit. But it's very interesting to hear all of this. And I do think that, unfortunately, that recall, like we mentioned in our 55-minute Jeep dive, definitely had a profound effect on not only new Jeep audience members, but also the investors of Stellantis as a whole. We've been watching and monitoring the STLA ticker on the stock market, and what is it? It hit the lowest price it has since 2015. And you can watch, Stellantis is one of the only ones that has peaks and valleys. We had you search Ford, and Ford is kind of pretty consistent, but Stellantis seems to have peaks and valleys. And right now, it definitely hurt. All of those investor meetings boosted up the stock price a little bit, but then as soon as all of the recall information came out, it just sent people to the hills. They are concerned about investing in this company. And honestly, it does make sense. From an outside perspective, when you're dumping millions or billions of dollars into a company that is having issues like that, it is definitely tricky to do. But I could see this either going 2 ways. I do think that the revitalization of Stellantis is here, but I think just like anything, it is going to take time. When you go to revamp an entire auto industry, revamp automobiles, revamp the entire U.S. government when it comes to regulations, it takes time, and we're in the midst of that. So either it's going to A, turn out really good, or B, this is like the sinking ship, and we're just watching the Titanic go down on our little life rafts and all of our Jeeps sitting there. So it's going to be an interesting kind of next few years, I would say. I know Stellantis has kind of tried to make a turnaround from the past CEO, but like we've been having meetings when we go out to Moab, when we sit with the Jeep folks, it takes a little bit more time than just a 1 week, hey, let's switch it and do this. We actually, in fact, just saw the order banks open for the Ram TRX, which that order bank closed a few years ago. I believe last year for the TRX was 2024 or 2025. They switched to the 3-liter Hurricane twin turbo high performance, but let's be honest, there's no replacement for displacement, and the TRX with the Hellcat engine was what that truck needed. I imagine that as they're kind of trying to get rid of those vehicles that they put money into and come back with the staple vehicles that everyone loved and was upset to go away, they're just trying to not completely lose everything. So they got to still sell the RHO. They got to try and sell some of these Challengers, kind of slowly get rid of the EVs, but then release the cool stuff. So the Rumblebee on the Ram side, you've got the TRX coming back. And just like we mentioned in the Jeep dive, Ram is the first out of the Stellantis brands to get a ton of love. but I think Jeep is going to be right afterwards. It's got to be. I don't think Jeep can hold off a few more years. I think Ram's going to get the love, and then Jeep needs to go next and really start to get some love and attention towards that brand, unless they just want it to keep sinking and being a tumbling ship. And I'm hoping to see it probably at the tail end of this year or even early next year. We'd love to see either some changes, some engine options, or some other things. I know Bronco is coming up on a refresh right now, so we'll have to see kind of how Jeep reacts to it. But guys, today's video is sponsored by our friends over at Clayton Off-Road up in Connecticut. These guys are absolute best friends when it comes to suspension systems. We run them on every single Wrangler and Gladiator that we have here on the channel, and we offer a wide variety of not only their smaller parts, but also their full suspension systems available on dirtroadcred.com. Now, these guys build everything up in Connecticut. It's backed by some of the best warranties as well as the best customer service that you're ever going to get on a suspension system, and we know and trust them. Now guys, we actually did install a 1.5-inch Overland Plus suspension system on our giveaway Gladiator, and it is arguably the best kit that we've ever installed on any of these vehicles. And that's not sugarcoating. We drive the Juice, we drive two doors, we drive everything else. That thing drives like a Cadillac on the road, and when you give it the gas, it goes. Now through August 31st, 2026, you can enter to win that Jeep, and you can do so by picking up a Clayton Off-Road suspension system on our website. And I see a lot of you guys have been buying kits from us, but there are some that are always abandoned checkouts. It is a big purchase. It's a big financial commitment. So if you guys have any questions prior to purchasing, or maybe there's something we can do to sweeten up the deal, be sure to email us at info@dirtroadcredmedia, and we will take care of you. Also, check out on the checkout page where you can actually multiply the entries, because that big of a purchase, if you multiply it, you guys are going to have an extreme chance to take home the keys and $10,000 for that 2026 Mojave Vice giveaway. Now, of course, no purchase is necessary. Good luck to everyone that's entered, and we can't wait to wind that one out and see who takes home the keys to that Jeep. So now the meat and potatoes of this one, our first sighting or internet sighting of a 2026 Jeep Wrangler Willys 392. Now this is sent in from our friend Dana out in Ohio. Thank you, Dana, for sending us these photos. And also, this is your Jeep, so congratulations on the brand new Goldilocks Willys 392. I would be lying if I would say I'm not a lot jealous of that you just picked up. We absolutely love our Goldilocks, but Ryan, that thing's been, I don't even know where it is. Our Goldilocks. It's not even in the States. So stay tuned on that. That'll be back on the channel very soon. But Dana, thank you so much for sending us these photos. This is the odd situation though, right? So we've been waiting for the Willys 392. A lot of people have been wanting to purchase one. It's been back and forth between, yes, you can order it. No, you can. Now there's a restriction. Now it's going to be a 27. Now it's going to be a 26. Here's the weird part. If you guys go on Auto Trader and search V8 engine or displacement of V8 or 8 cylinders, and then search price low to high for new vehicles, you'll get some 25s in there, but we're starting to see, it calls them a 2026 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Moab 392, but the MSRP is like $73,000. So if you click on those vehicles, go into the window sticker, it actually says now Willys 392. So what's cool about this is you're starting to see these in the 60s and 70s when it comes to the price point, and you are getting a 392. But this is the kicker, Ryan, because maybe you can pop up a photo now. The first Willys 392 sighting that we have, what does it have on the hood? A Moab decal. So I don't know how it came in like that. This is sold out of Ohio, so it's obviously very close to the Toledo assembly plant, but it looks like it came with the Moab decal on the hood, but it does have the black fenders and the black top, so you can obviously see it is a Willys 392 based on those two things, but very weird that it came with the Moab. What I'm thinking that they did is maybe they come out of the same body / paint code, or maybe it's like they're putting together so many Moabs over there in the performance parts section. So you have to remember that when Jeeps get built, if they add on anything like the Extreme Recon, the waterproof flooring, any of the other goodies, it leaves the assembly complex and goes to like the performance area. So I'm sure all the techs over there in the performance area are looking at this. Oh, look at the hood, check underneath. Yep, this is a 392. It's got to be a Moab. So those decals are put on over there. So they probably were like, hey, it's a Moab 392. Didn't really look too close at it and slapped the decal on there. Now, what we're very curious about is we were supposed to get a 2027 model year on this with the upgraded Dana M235. I think it's a 235 Dana 50 rear axle, but that thing is absolutely nowhere to be found. I'm curious on what the holdup is for the 2027 model year, and if it would be wise, if you are a potential buyer, to pick up a 26 now or wait for the 27 that has that upgraded rear end. It's a little bit concerning that it's taking so long for that to actually come to life, as that was supposed to be factory on a 392 and then optional on other vehicles, so you could upgrade the rear end there. But once again, it's kind of neat for us to be able to see the Willys 392 is starting to make its way out there. I am hearing from not only different dealer sources, but other sources that we know of, that the Willys 392 could be a very rare unicorn. I don't know how long this thing's going to last. You've got to remember, this is a 12 for 12 vehicle. They are not out there forever. There is a limited or finite quantity, and once that number's met, which who knows what it is, that thing is going away. So cool to see them starting to get out there, but who knows when the general public may be able to pick one of them up. On today's viewer rig of the video, we are checking out Derek's absolutely beautiful Tuscadero 4-door Eco Diesel Wrangler. Now, this thing is one of the most rare Wranglers, as it both has the Tuscadero color and the Eco Diesel. This one has a Metal Cloak Game Changer lift kit up on a set of 38-inch Nitto trail grapplers wrapped around KMC Machete full machined wheels. Now, what's really cool is that Derek and his family actually own a company called Smoky Mountain Off-Road Guides. Now, we met them down in Daytona a couple times, and now that they've got their business fully set up, when we attend the Pigeon Forge show, we're probably going to stop by a few days early to get some trails done and explore some of the local wildlife with Derek and his family. But a beautiful viewer rig, and if you guys want to have a chance at your rig being featured, we're going to try and put more of these in current content. Be sure to email us rigs@dirtroadcredmedia.com. Thanks, Derek. But if you guys are wanting to see us as soon as possible, and if you're on the West Coast, the first show that we're going to be attending is the Jim Marsh Jeep show, and we're going to be out in beautiful Las Vegas at their dealership on Saturday, June 27th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Andy's going to be on the barbecue. We've got our friend Randy out there and all of the entire team at Jim Marsh Jeep checking out some vehicles. There'll be some vendors there. There'll be food, music, the radio station, and you can come out and hang out with us from 11 to 4. We're going to be out on the West Coast. Back here on the East, we've got a show, New Jersey Jeep Invasion, coming up early July. We've got the Toledo Jeep Invasion on the beginning of August, and then the Smoky Mountain Pigeon Forge show to kind of close out the larger shows at the end of the year. If you guys are able to attend any of those shows, we would absolutely love to see you in person. We've got all of our merch. We bring a lot of our Jeeps, besides the shows that we have to fly out to, but all of the local ones, including Smoky Mountain, we're going to try and bring most of our rigs there. So if you wanted to see one of these Jeeps in person, you want to hang out, talk to us, talk to the crew, a show is a great way to do so. And then also maybe pick up some cool stuff from all of the other vendors that are attending. Now, very soon we will have a video on the Juice with the full bumper transformation. We've been out in the shop for a few days here, hacking off a lot of the body, ripping some pieces off, and really transforming this Jeep because it hasn't gotten a lot of love in the past few months. It got a Hemi, which is like the coolest thing done to it, but it needed a lot more love when it came to the bumpers, armor, and a lot of other things on this Jeep. So it's really going to get kind of its second life transformation here. Got a lot of cool powder coated pieces, and stay locked onto the channel because we try and do news and product reviews and installs intermittently. We've got a lot more products coming in. We've got our Goldilocks. We've got a lot of other cool builds. So stay tuned to the channel. We'll be posting everything up here. But thank you guys so much for watching. It's always a pleasure. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them down below. We'd love to chat with you guys. But until next time, my name is Matt. Ryan's behind the camera, and we want you to get out there and earn yours.